Hey, Mark Cowden, Beco Air and Heat. Today we're installing a Mitsubishi ductless system, but this one is a little bit different. It's a recessed up into the attic. It's not your traditional style that hangs on the wall. We're in Fort Worth, Texas. This is an older home. The home's a little bit chopped up, and what I mean is it's been added onto over the years, and the duct system is just not adequate for what they're trying to accomplish here. We have a large family room, and it is the farthest room from the central heating and air conditioning system. If the entire house was, let's say, 72 degrees in the middle of summer and the thermostat turned the AC system off, this room's going to heat up faster than the rest of the house. It's got lots of windows, like I said, 3 outside walls. So the customers decided to put in a ductless system. They like the ductless. They have 2 others that they enjoy, but they're traditional, the ones that hang on the wall. This one's going to be recessed right over here. Austin, can you pan the room? Throughout the process, I'm going to do a little bit of pro tips as we go along. There may be an air conditioning company out there that's just getting into the ductless and maybe searching YouTube for ideas. I'm going to try to make the installation process a little bit simpler. Pro tip number 1, the other day I was watching companies put one of these systems in, and they had the entire room kind of taped off with plastic and plastic all over the floors, and I wasn't sure what they were doing at first, but as I watched them, what they did is they cut the hole in the ceiling from the room. So they would stand on a ladder and cut the hole in the ceiling. I don't recommend this. The way that I do it is we're going to cut it from the attic. That way I know where my ceiling joists are. So number 1, if you cut it from the room and you hit a ceiling joist, you're now going to have to cut another hole and move the system. You're going to have to pay for sheetrock repair, paint, texture, all that good stuff. So first of all, I get in the attic, find out where my ceiling joists are. I can use the roof line to find out exactly where the center of the room is. The second reason that I would not cut it from below is I don't like to cut anything above my head. So I don't want the sheetrock dust and the debris falling into my eyes and onto me. And the third reason is even if I know exactly where my ceiling joists are, I don't know if I'm going to hit electrical lines or plumbing or anything like that. So I always cut it from the ceiling. I'll have a man down here on a ladder. I'll be in the attic. We'll remove the insulation. We can talk through the sheetrock and even knock on the sheetrock to get our bearings. Before I cut any holes, I take a really small screwdriver like you'd use for your glasses, and I puncture 4 holes on each corner so I know exactly where that unit's going to be. The man in the room can tell me move left, move right, and repairing a puncture hole is much easier than repairing a big cut or missing sheetrock. But once we get the hole cut, I'll show you what that looks like and how we hang the system and kind of go through that process. Okay, so we built a support system. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here, but put these upper braces in, coming across, and then we've got unistrut and all thread coming down, 3/8 all thread. Already got my refrigerant lines here. My electrical comes in on the other side, but it's fairly simple. Just brace it up nice, and then a tip would be for some of you installers is to put Armaflex underneath your unistrut so the unit doesn't vibrate. Okay, onward and upward. Okay, pro tip number 2. When you're cutting the hole from up top, the guy down here on the ladder, if you take a large cardboard box and tape it up real good, he can hold that against the ceiling and let all the debris and dust fall into that. When you're cutting the sheetrock, the guy down here may need to support the sheetrock that's being cut so it doesn't fall or rip the paper. But it's a much cleaner way to do it. It won't take very long, and you don't have to put up plastic all over the room. Okay, the Mitsubishi systems and all these mini splits, no matter what brand, they work a lot like refrigeration systems, not like your traditional air conditioning systems. What I mean by that is the refrigerant lines are extremely small, and you have to vacuum out the lines like you do on a traditional air conditioning system, but you need to do that 3 times. You need to pull a vacuum, hit it with nitrogen, pull a vacuum, hit it with nitrogen.
if you pull just one single vacuum, and a lot of these guys are using the big powerful vacuum pumps because they don't want to stand around for an hour and a half waiting on it to pull down, it will pull these smaller units down so fast that the water doesn't actually, or the humidity that's in the pipes don't exactly dissipate. It will turn into ice crystals inside the refrigerant lines. So you want to pull a vacuum, break it with nitrogen, pull a vacuum, break it with nitrogen. Similar to what you would do in a small refrigeration system. But we're almost ready to start this up, and as soon as we get the electrical done, we get it turned on, I'll show you how it operates. Okay, we're finished up. The job went extremely smoothly. Customer came out, talked with them, explained how to operate the system. But I did want to point out one thing about the ductless systems. That's high speed. That's as loud as that unit gets. When I first started putting these in years ago, and I seen them, I was like, man, I don't think homeowners gonna want that unit just like blowing a ton of air out like that out the front. But it's a variable speed motor, and man, it's super quiet, moves the right amount of air. If you're interested in a ductless system and you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, give Beco Air and Heat a shout. I'd love to talk with you, explore your options. They make the wall mounts that have different styles, different colors, and then they have the recess like we put in today. I mean, there's a lot of options. Just give us a shout and we'll talk about what you're trying to accomplish and get you some pricing put together. I think you'll love it.